So it's just little things like that, kind of, and that's more at the end of the race than anything. The rest of it's just you're so focused on it, it's almost. I don't have any sort of thoughts on it, as it were. I mean, it's not something for me to make up and say I'd like to be remembered like this. Everyone, please remember this. It's.
I've just seen a clip of it with the BBC. I didn't quite realise just how scrappy it got at the end. You know, it was sort of to and fro-ing, and it's still sort of hadn't really sunk in. Really, I think when it's that close, it's kind of like it almost feels like you cheated death a little bit. That kind of feeling of, God, what if we had lost? You know, when it's that close. And it sort of stresses me to think of the sort of thought process, and you have to keep reminding yourself, well, you didn't lose, you won, so you can stop thinking that now. But it's you have to keep you just keep double checking and reminding yourself, you know, it's like a bad dream that, you know, it was that close, because I don't think we expected it to be that close in the end, because we'd had such a margin in the rounds before it. We didn't underestimate them, but we didn't think that they'd be that close to us, so it was certainly a shock at the end, that's sure. Yeah, I mean, when you look back now, yeah, if someone had said it was going to be like that, I'd have gone, oh no, come on, can't it be a bit easier for the last? But sitting here now, looking back, it's like the Steve Redgrave race in Sydney, you know, where it was close, and you know that sometimes they are the ones that catch people's imaginations, and it's the most sort of inspiring to watch, if you like, and by the sounds of it, it was like that. Yeah, and I think it's in those moments that it starts to dawn on you what you've achieved more than anything, and that all happens pretty quickly from the moment you've stepped off the bike. So it's all coming at you really quickly, and you don't really process it at the time. It's only when you sort of look back under the photos and things that you realise, oh, that was a special moment, you know. Well, it's the end, so it's sort of my last memory, as it were, you know, kind of racing it. But I mean, it's up there with everything else, and I think more because I've come back to the track. So I've gone the kind of from the track to the road, won the Tour, and then I've come back to the track and gone through the sort of the changes needed in order to do that. So yeah, it's a bit like the sort of Mayweather going up and down the weights, and you know, so it's good. Yeah.
Can I get your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's in a great place, to be honest. I think when there's not much going on in the lead up to it, obviously there's space, stories to fill, this, that and the other, and there's always a breaking story about something, or you know, someone's been to the toilet today or whatever, and you know, but at the end of it, you know, the racing takes over all that, and here we are, we've seen the racing in the last few days, there's more coming, the girls are on tonight, Jason's flying in the sprint, and it's you know, they will be the news stories that last, and I think all this other stuff about broken handlebars and bikes and this, that and the other, someone called me this, you know, I think that'll all just go, and you know, it will be remembered for this, probably the most successful, I don't know if it will be on record the most successful cycling games, but we'll see by the end of it. I probably have physically, because I'm as good now as I've ever been on the track, but you've got to go sometime, you know, and it's I'd rather go out on top, you know, and I just don't think I've got another 4 years mentally in me, because it's hard work, you know, going when all the party's gone home after this, and you go back to the grind in Manchester, and there's cold mornings in December, it's not nice. So yeah.